us for correction and approval. Can any honorable member please move that the said record of votes and proceedings be considered and approved? Parliamentary member for Parliamentary.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move that the third record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 26 November 2025 be considered and approved. Thank you.
Any seconder? Nyani?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 26 November 2025 be approved. Any correction or observation from honorable members? If there are, of course, any, we may do so by show of tag, and we will look at the record page by page, beginning with page 1. Honorable members, we'll now go to page 1. Member for Woolley is...
Just a typo in front page, the spelling of Wednesday. Can you look at it?
Wednesday. Wednesday, the S should go out. Yes, that's the cover page. Honorable members, let's go to page 1. Honorable members, on page 2. Page 3. Member for Woolley is?
Typo there. Correction on the 1.
Which page?
Page 3. You said page 3.
Yes.
Yes. The paragraph on the correction and approval of record. The second line for the sitting, it should be sitting. What is there is citing. Have you seen it?
Hmm?
For the sitting of Tuesday, 25th.
It should be of Wednesday. Hmm? Oh, okay. You're sitting here. Member for Kiang West? You say what is the problem? No, Woolley is said what? It should be how much? That's how it should be. So now what is there? No, mine 2 teeth are here. Mine I have 2 teeth. To be. That's why somebody sitting. This one, come and see. Mine I have 2 teeth. Or is the the body? Okay. Yes. Any order? Jara West.
Just after on page 1, after prayers, number 2. Page 1, number 2. Correction and approval of. I think between off and record there should be D, article D. After prayers, on page 1, correction and approval of the record of votes, article D, between off and records.
Yeah, this is the order paper. So it's fine like this. Anyone on page 3? Can we move to page 4? Page 5. Yes, member Woolley is.
Page 5, correction number 340, 2025. The second line after Banjul North, comma, was asked. Not supposed to be there. It's already mentioned in the first line.
Where? Which number?
340, question number 340. He said, let me read. By Honorable Member of Banjul Central was asked on his behalf by the Honorable Member of Banjul North and answered.
Oh, yeah, the order was asked. It's a repetition. Okay, honorable members, are you following? There is another repetition of was asked. Now we move to page 5, page 6. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Wednesday, 26 November 2025 be approved with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Thank you, clerk. We may proceed.
Thank you. Laying of papers and reports. Report of the Select Committee on Gender, Children and Social Welfare of the National Assembly countrywide tour to selected orphanages, rehabilitation centers, and juvenile prison from the 5th to 10th May 2025 by the Honorable Vice Chairperson of the committee.
Honorable Chairperson, please go ahead and lay your report.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I will begin with the executive summary. Pursuant to its constitutional mandate under Section 109 of the 1997 Constitution, the Select Committee on Gender, Children and Social Welfare undertook an oversight tour from 5th to 10th May 2025. The mission aimed to gain first-hand insight into the conditions and challenges faced by vulnerable groups, including orphan children, persons with disabilities, and individuals with special needs in selected institutions across the country. The primary objectives were to assess the quality and gender sensitivity of care and rehabilitation services, identify systematic barriers to accessing essential services, and build relationships with caregivers to inform future policy and legislative interventions. Key findings and critical challenges. The committee observed a pervasive and systematic pattern of challenges across nearly all institutions visited, which severely hinders the quality of care, rehabilitation, and protection of vulnerable populations. The key findings are categorized as follows.
I hope you are going to be brief, Honorable Member.
Sorry?
I hope you are going to summarize the report.
Indeed, yeah, I will. A, which is the critical shortages in healthcare and medical equipment. Neonatal unit, which is the EFSPH. A severe shortage of incubators and radiant warmers forced up to 4 babies to share a single unit, comprising neonatal care and contributing to a high mortality rate. Tanka Tanka Psychiatric Hospital. The sole public mental health facility operates without a functional pharmacy, lacks essential drugs, and has inadequate staffing with only 1 social worker for 85 patients. Bakote Shelter and other centers. Chronic shortages of essential drugs, ambulances, and basic medical supplies like gloves and commonplace. Children with disabilities are not receiving critical physiotherapy services, systematic deficiencies in education for children with special needs. That is on B. I am on page 3. Some members are asking. Schools for the deaf, Kanifing and Basse. The national curriculum and examination system are not adapted for deaf students. Teachers lack specialized training, and exam scripts are marked by personnel unfamiliar with sign language, leading to unfair assessment. There is a critical lack of teaching materials, school buses, and perimeter fencing comprising safety and access. Mixed cohorts, children with different disabilities, for example, deafness and Down syndromes, are often grouped together due to lack of specialized facilities. On C, severe infrastructure resource and security deficits. Overcrowding the juvenile wing and Bakote shelters classrooms are severely overcrowded, with former housing 34 children in facility designed for 24. Poor living conditions. Institution reported worn out mattresses, broken sanitation facilities, a lack of water supply, and in alarming case, 2 female convicts with their babies sharing a single bed. Moving on, Honorable Speaker, insecurity. Many facilities, including the Bakote shelter and St. John's Basse, lack adequate security and perimeter fences, leading to escape a safety risk. Staffing crisis. There is a critical shortage of qualified staff, including caregivers, specialized teachers, and orthopedic technicians. At the National Rehabilitation Center, only 3 technicians produce 1 to 2 prosthetic limbs per week, creating a significant backlog. B, inadequate government support and funding. A consistent theme across government and privately run institutions was the heavy reliance on international donors and philanthropists for core findings, equipment, and supplies. Key institutions like the National Rehabilitation Center and Tanka Tanka reported minimal to no direct support from the Ministry of Gender and Social, limiting their capacity and sustainability. General recommendations. To address these critical challenges, the committee put forward to the following and actionable recommendations. 1, immediate infrastructural and resource injection. The Ministry of Health must urgently produce additional incubators and radiant warmers for the EFTSH neonatal unit. The Ministry of Gender, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, must ensure a consistent supply of essential drugs, medical equipment, and ambulances to all centers. All facilities must be provided with adequate furniture, beds, mattresses, and teaching aids. Urgent repairs to damaged buildings, for example, Tanka Tanka, Bakote Shelter Clinic, and the construction of perimeter fences must be prioritized. 2, strengthening service delivery and human resources. Develop and implement a tailored curriculum and assessment system for students with disabilities, particularly for the deaf. Expand specialized training for orthopedic technicians, special needs teachers, and mental health professionals. Recruit additional caregivers and support staff to improve care ratios, especially in shelters and orphanages. Resume and fund essential services like physiotherapy for children with disabilities. 3, enhancing policy, funding, and interministerial collaboration. Increase direct government funding to social welfare institutions to ensure sustainability and reduce donor dependency. Foster stronger collaboration between the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Welfare and the Ministry of Health and Education to create a cohesive support system. Expedite court processes for juveniles and ensure the separation of remanded and convicted children. Launch public awareness campaigns to combat discriminations and stigmatization of persons with disabilities. In conclusion to that, the findings of this oversight tour revealed a sector in crisis, characterized by systematic neglect and chronic underfunding. The commitment of the government of the Gambia is paramount to addressing these deficiencies without immediate, coordinated, and sustainable investment in infrastructure, human resources, and policy reform. The rights, welfare, and for the potential of the country's most vulnerable citizens will continue to be compromised. The committee urges the National Assembly and the executive to treat these recommendations with the utmost urgency they demand. Honorable Speaker, before moving further, please allow me to do the acknowledgement. The honorable members of the Select Committee on Gender, Children, and Social Welfare wish to express their heartfelt appreciation to all those who contributed to the success of the recent oversight visit. The committee is deeply grateful for the warm reception and unwavering cooperation extended throughout the exercise. The committee also thanked the Minister of Gender, Children, and Social Welfare and the various officials who engaged actively and provided invaluable insights and support. Their openness and professionalism greatly enriched the committee's understanding of the challenges and opportunities within their mandate. The committee also extended sincere gratitude to the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly and the entire support staff for their excellent logistical coordination and dedicated services, which were instrumental in facilitating the smooth conduct of the visit. The committee acknowledged the commitment and dedication of all parties involved. The information and experience gathered will serve as a vital foundation for developing informed and actionable recommendations for solving. Honorable Speaker, the introduction I will leave for members to go through, and I'll go straight to the objectives. Assess the care and rehabilitation services for orphan children and people with disabilities, ensuring they are gender sensitive. Identifying challenges these groups face in assessing education, healthcare, and social services. Raise awareness of gender equality issues within special needs and disability contexts. Build relationships with caregivers and institutions for better inclusion and collaboration. Review and recommend improvements of existing gender-sensitive policies and programs. The methodology that we used: open discussion and observations, site visits and inspections, photography, questions and answer session. Honorable Speaker, I'll move straight to some of the findings that the committee had conducted. Neonatal unit at EF on page 9 on EFSTH. The neonatal unit has 15 incubators in total, 1 radiant warmer. The committee found 2 babies sharing 1 incubator. This is not desired according to the matron, who informed the committee that a peak season, it can be up to 4 babies sharing the incubator. The only radiant warmer can also be used by 4 babies at a time. It's more babies waiting there turn for a time before they can have access to the only radiant warmer available at the facility. The mortality rate is still high. However, during the discussion with the nurses at the intensive care unit, the committee was informed that the high rate is because babies are transferred from other facilities after referral, and most times they are referred late and at a very critical conditions. All that they could do at this point would be to stabilize the babies and nothing else. Another important discussion was regarding the lack of sufficient equipment. It was mentioned by the nurse in charge that during the peak season, mothers in this intensive care unit are obliged to hold their babies on their laps for warmth while they wait for machine availability. The committee was also informed of the inadequate phototherapy and incubators in the unit. The National Rehabilitation Center, of course, Honorable Speaker, just to summarize, I will leave members to go through that. Then I'll move straight to St. John's Hospital, St. John's for the Deaf. The principal of the school informed the committee that the school is currently working with the various policies that focus on protecting children, particularly in education and community settings. The mandate of the institution includes everything concerning the welfare and development of the child, both physical and academic, to include education policies, child protection policies, and importantly, disability policies, especially as they are a special needs school. In his statement, the principal informed the committee that their challenge is the curriculum. This is not tailored to the needs of the children with disabilities. Instead, the students are compelled to follow the mainstream curriculum to take the same national exams as students with no specific need, with only minimal accommodations, such as extra time of 30 minutes, which is truly not enough. The learning pace of the students differs significantly, and they request emphasis on step-by-step learning to avoid leaving any child behind. Another very important challenge is the lack of specialized teacher training. The teacher training institutions only offer theoretical models of special needs education, and there are no formal programs in sign language. As a result, they take it up at the school level to train their teachers in sign language every Friday, which is essential for communication with the students. He stresses that during national exams, the script of their students who use a different structure influenced by sign language and are marked by people who are unfamiliar with sign language, which he thinks is an to prevent self-harm due to impulsive actions. Regarding progression of tertiary education, only a few manage to get through the college or university, where they face additional barriers such as lack of interpreters and adapted teaching methods. As a result, many students struggle or are left behind due to the systematic lack of support. Honorable Speaker, the challenges of that particular section. I'll go through that. Lack of separate curriculum for their students. 2, lack of specialized teacher training. 3, exam scripts are marked using the same scheme as for the other children, without involvement of trained professionals familiar with the students' unique needs. Students take oral exams but lack understanding of how these exams are assessed. The school's ear clinic lacks proper equipment and essential drugs. The students face transportation challenges. And last but not the least, there are inadequate teaching and learning materials in the skill center. Honorable Speaker, the juvenile, I'll also leave members to go through that. And of course, with their challenges on page 12.
Are you summarizing or what?
Yes, I am, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, at the Bakote Center, shelter, the shelter is the only government facility dedicated to the care and protection of vulnerable children and elderly persons. This includes victims of trafficking, minors, and individuals in need of temporary shelters. During the visit, the committee was welcomed by the social worker and observed significant improvements in the environment, including the completion of the nursery school, which was among the plans they had during the committee's last visit in 2022. However, the committee observed that the classrooms remain overcrowded, with 61 children sharing only 22 tables. The school is open to other children from the surrounding communities. The shelter currently houses only one elderly person with disabilities who has lived there for over three years, while he receives daily meals. The committee found his mattresses and bed sheets to be in poor condition and recommended their immediate replacement. The committee also noted concerning conditions where 2 female convicts with their babies share a single bed, resulting in 4 people in a bed. The shelter cares for 23 babies, most of whom are abandoned, including an 8-year-old child with disability. In the temporary housing unit, there are 3 individuals, 2 of whom have babies. The clinic faces some challenges, including drug shortage, the absence of an ambulance, lack of gloves, and protective personal equipment. The ministry is their main supplier of supplements, but occasionally they receive donations from individuals. Children with disabilities at the shelter are not receiving physiotherapy, which is critical to their rehabilitation. Security issues were also raised, with reports of children escaping due to inadequate security measures. And of course, the challenges attached to that. 1, inadequate essential drugs, lack of ambulance, lack of gloves, inadequate security, lack of petty cash, and 6, the shelter is severely understaffed, with 1 caregiver tending to multiple babies, affecting the quality of care. And 7, the clinic lacks water supply, has poor sanitation, and broken doors without locks. And 8, there are occasional food shortages, sometimes requiring staff to cover costs personally. 9, a child with disability has no wheelchair, limiting her mobility. And 10, inadequate funding for food provisions to prevent shortages and reduce reliance on personal contributions from staff. 11, lack of physiotherapy services for children with disabilities. And 12, 2 inmates sharing the same bed with their 2 children. And with SOS Children's Village, Honorable Speaker, I will leave that members to go through. And moving on to Tanka Tanka, Honorable Speaker. According to the matron at the visit of the Tanka Tanka Psychiatric Hospital, is the only public mental health facility in the Gambia meant to support or provide specialized care for individuals with mental health conditions. Tanka Tanka serves as a critical institution for the treatment, rehabilitation, and reintegration of patients, many of whom are referred from across the country, even some from Senegal and Guinea. With 85 patients at the time of our visit, the hospital has only 1 social worker attending to all patients. Most concerning, they have been operating without a pharmacy where medications were kept in the matron's office. However, at the time of the visit, they were renovating the dressing room to be used temporarily as a pharmacy. Another main concern was that their records are manually kept. They have 3 classrooms ready to be used. As most of the patients requesting going back to the school, the request has been sent to the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education and assessment before they can proceed. They are yet to receive any information and feedback from the ministry as the time of the visit they visited. Therefore, whilst they await a response from the ministry, the classrooms are being used as both inpatient and outpatient rooms and when the need arises. In the laundry room, some of the washing machines and the dryers are not working due to electricity and other electrical problems. Heavy-duty washing machines are at the premises, but cannot be used as they cannot be moved from the point they were delivered. During the touring of the facility, the committee found out that the building where the male patients were living got burned by one of the patients who attempted to commit suicide when he was fortunately rescued. The building is still in yet to be repaired, and it is causing the facility some major constraints. Their occupational therapy center was renovated by TIKI Foundation and is being highly utilized by the patients. And some of the challenges attached to that, Honorable Speaker, which 1 is inadequate staff, 2, inadequate resources, inadequate mattresses, lack of drugs, lack of mosquito nets, lack of ambulance, inadequate security. The facility is easily accessible during the rainy season the facility is not easily accessible due to the rainy season, during the rainy season due to poor and road connectivity. lack of pharmacy, lack of equipped classrooms, interference from the ministry in the management of the hospital. Honorable Speaker, with the Nyancho Orphanage Center, I will also leave that one to be looked at by the members. And of course, the Sinchu orphanages, I will also let that to be looked at by the members. Sorry. Albreda Orphanage. The Albreda Orphanage, which is on page 18, the Albreda Orphanage currently provides care and education for 33 children, comprising 30 boys and 3 girls, within the age range of 6 to 15 years. In addition to serving as a home for these children, the facility also operates in Madarasa, Islamic school, of course, to ensure their academic development in religion. One of the major challenges in orphanages faces...
I thought you were summarizing. But
of course, I am summarizing.
No, you just jumped suddenly. But if you say Albreda,
of course, I am summarizing. I am summarizing, Honorable Speaker. But there are some that are very, very important that I need to go through.
Continue.
On one of the major challenges of the orphanage faces is the lack of female teachers and caregivers, which hinders its ability to admit more female children. This gap is female representation has made it difficult to provide the necessary gender-sensitive support for the girls currently under their care. Although the current cohort of children is all from the Gambia, the orphanage has a history of admitting children from neighboring countries such as Senegal and Guinea-Bissau. Children are referred to the orphanage through its main office in Nemakunku. To enhance self-sufficiency, the orphanage engages in small-scale farming, food production, such as onions and other, to support their needs. Their main sources of support come from their sponsors in Saudi Arabia and donations from the diaspora. The orphanage has not received any form of assistance from the government. The orphanage is currently challenged by limited access to electricity. They rely on solar energy, and the solar battery is faulty and requires one-day weekly recharging to sustain power for the rest of the week. The orphanage also supports family bonding for allowing the children to visit their parents during the holidays. Additionally, all the girls are being equipped with culinary skills, and they receive training in cooking and household management. They also have a specific time for their games. Challenges attached to that also, Honorable Speaker, which are lack of female teachers, lack of support from the government, lack of electricity. And the St. John's School for the Deaf, Honorable Speaker, I'll have to go through that once. It is also very, very important. St. John's School for the Deaf in Basse, an annex of the main institution in Gambia, in Kanifing, is a special needs school located in the Upper River region. It primarily serves deaf students through instruction in reading and writing using sign language. However, during a recent committee visit, it was discovered that the school also caters for children with Down syndrome and other disabilities who often face discrimination in mainstream schools. The senior section currently has 9 students preparing for the WIAS, including 2 females. During an interactive session, several students expressed their ambitions to become teachers, doctors, engineers, tailors, and pursue further education at the universities and colleges. Many of these students travel over 25 kilometers daily to attend school in Basse, which creates a significant barrier to regular attendance. To help address this, the principal and vice principal have chosen to accommodate some students within the school premises. Other commute using bicycles or pay for transportation. The school do receive some external support, but electricity remains a major challenge for their institution, as it often struggles to purchase cash power. The only government support received is through the School Improvement Grant, that is the SIG, which is mainly allocated for junior schools. Due to the limited number of students in this category, their allocation is very limited. Therefore, most the school finance and material support comes from their diaspora and other external donors. The school feeding program supported by the World Food Program is also insufficient to meet the needs of all students. As a result, to bring the gap, the principal and staff contributed personally to purchase rice and other food items to ensure all the children are fed. In terms of learning resources and other equipment, MRC Holland Foundation donated 21 computers, and the committee was informed that the First Lady, through her foundation, also donated sewing machines. Only 10 of the 21 computers are currently functional, and out of these, only 5 are used regularly due to power voltage constraints. A television is also utilized as a learning aid for sign language. With all these facilities, the school still faces significant challenges. The main challenge is the lack of a perimeter fence. This exposes the school and its facility. Inadequate electricity supply is also another major challenge, together with the lack of a school bus for students' transportation. To add to the poor condition of the roads, it makes it practically impossible for many students to attend, even if they are willing, as their safety and security might be at risk. And also the challenges attached to that is: 1, the school is not fully fenced; 2, inadequate electricity; no school bus for the students; bad road accessibility; many dropouts due to the inadequate support, as most of them are from underprivileged backgrounds. As the only school in CRR, not all children can attend due to the distance and inadequate funding. 7, there is no dormitory. 8, some of the classrooms they are using were built for skill practical, and there are no materials. There is little or no support from the government. Most support comes from outsiders and philanthropists. Children with Down syndromes are mixed with the deaf because there is no school for children with syndrome in URR. The children faces discrimination by the society and facilities as a result. They sometimes overstay in school.
Honorable, please
Honorable
summarize.
Speaker, moving on, I will leave SOS Annex in Basse.
No, it's not
And
about.
also move on straight to the general recommendations, Honorable Speaker. Why would you want me to skip everything?
No,
Honorable
it's not.
Speaker?
I didn't tell you to skip.
I am
said-
summarizing. Are you not
no,
satisfied
you are not
with that?
summarizing. You are skipping certain things and reading. Summarizing.
Honorable Speaker,
is to
I've
say-
skipped a lot already.
No, when
meaning
I'm speaking,
I am summarizing.
when I'm speaking, you allow me to speak
Of
first.
course I am.
Order, honorable members. When you are summarizing, is to say you can even mention all the schools that you visited. But when you skip, for instance, you skip Basse. You say, let me go to St. John's. You read everything about St. John. That's not summarizing. Say we visited Basse, we visited St. John, we visited the School of Deaf, we visited Sanementre, we visited Kebalang, we visited Maimuna, and then you know.
Are you done? Yeah, Honorable Speaker, these are some of the the Minister of Health should urgently increase the number of incubators and radiant warmers in the neonatal unit and ensure timely and safe thermal care for all newborns, especially work with the Minister of Health to ensure a consistent and reliable supply to essential drugs for children's centers and improve access to necessary medical cares. 3, secure consistent government funding and foster partnerships with philanthropists to address resources, shortages, and infrastructure needs. 4, expand human resources and provide specialized training for staff managing complex medical cares and children with special needs. 5, ensure a consistent supply of wheelchairs, essential drugs, teaching aids, and medical equipment across all centers. Moving on with the challenges, Honorable Speaker, the general recommendations. 6, provide dedicated vehicle for staff with disabilities, ambulance for emergencies, and improve road access and school transport services. 6, create tailored curriculum and evaluation methods for students with disabilities to improve educational outcomes. 7, complete fencing, repair damaged buildings, improve sanitation, and address overcrowding to provide safe and accessible environments. 8, facilitate family visitation programs and conduct community awareness to combat discrimination against children with disabilities. 9, increase classrooms, furniture to address overcrowding to improve learning environment. 10, worn out mattresses and bed sheets, especially for the elderly and long-term residents at the shelters, should be replaced frequently. 11, provide additional beds for the mothers and babies to avoid bed sharing and enhance comfort at the shelters. 12, improve medical supplies and ensure availability of an ambulance for emergency cases in all the children's centers. 13, resume physiotherapy sessions for disabled children with disability to support their health and development. 14, strengthen security measures to prevent escapes and ensure resident safety. 15, enhance government support to maintain and improve living conditions and essential services at the centers. 16, recruit additional caregivers and support staff to ensure adequate care, especially in high-need areas like the nursery and baby care units. And 17, last but not the least, restore water supply to the clinic and repair or replace toilets to ensure all doors have functioning locks to enhance hygiene, safety, and privacy. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the committee's assessment highlighted that the commitment of the government is of utmost importance for the benefit of the children and those in care. In addition, staff and management commitment is also a key factor for the development and improvement of the social welfare institutions in the Gambia. There are evidently persistent challenges such as shortages in equipment, specialized staff, and most importantly, inadequate funding from the government. This, together with overcrowding, poor infrastructure, and limited resources, continues to hinder service delivery to improve outcomes for the vulnerable population. The committee recommends for increased government direct investment, enhanced staff training, and stronger partnerships with development agencies. Implementing the committee's recommendations is crucial to ensuring quality and equitable care and protecting the rights and welfare of all vulnerable individuals in the country. There must be transparency in how much is invested in the care of the most vulnerable and how this investment is utilized to enhance the lives of those in need, especially children in care. The Ministry of Health and that of Gender, Children and Social Welfare must work together to ensure advance of those with special needs. Note, the committee visited 2 private centers, one in Sukota for children with disabilities and an orphanage in Farafenni. But the committee was denied access because the ministry had not informed the centers about the committee's visit. The rest, Honorable Speaker, I will leave those with members to go through. On that note, I beg to take my seat. Thank you.
Honorable members, she spent about 40 minutes. You have 21 minutes out of the 1 hour. Member for, yes? Uli is. Member of Uli is. Any seconder rather? Uli is.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Maybe honorable members, maybe you have to give each 2 minutes
I would have
because they have about 21 minutes.
wanted somebody to.
Are you listening? Technicians, are you hearing me? Maybe you give them each 2 minutes.
3 minutes.
I have a lot on my list, so give them 2 minutes each. They have 20. You have only 20 minutes more. So the number of people I have. Technician, give them 2 minutes each. Yes, Willis, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move the second motion. Honorable Speaker, as a member of this committee, yes, 2 minutes. I would just want to add my voice to the committee's recommendation that at the neonatal unit, serious efforts should be done to ensure that incubators are available. This is not the first time we have been discussing this matter. So we need to take it up very seriously. Also, Honorable Speaker, Tanka, there is only one social worker. We should ensure, the committee should make a follow-up to ensure that an addition is done there, because there are 85 patients. Only one person is taking care of them. That is very difficult to do. Also, I believe there should be a study of how to build an institution like Tanka to ensure that fire and other dangerous things that are happening there should be avoided. That would be very good, because people don't have confidence to take their patients to Tanka because of those issues. Honorable Speaker, also the issue of Down syndrome. These people are all over the country. Children are all over the country with Down syndrome, but they don't have a school. They have no way of being taken care of. We need to really take that up, specially, just a special study to ensure that we have a school for the Down syndrome. And that school should be, like where children will have a place to sleep, so that they don't have to go to patients, because they cannot do that. They cannot sleep with their parents and then go to the school. It cannot happen that way. It has to be a school of their own. On that note, Honorable Speaker, thank you for the time. Thank you.
No, have you seen? Okay. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the Select Committee on Gender, Children and Social Welfare of the National Assembly countrywide to selected orphanages, rehabilitation centers and juvenile prison from the 5th to 10th May 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, as I said, now we have 17 minutes. So I will now give the floor to the member for Fonyi Kansala. 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I think I'm thanking the Gender Committee and its members for visiting salient areas. That is a national concern. And most of these salient areas that they've informed is really pathetic, ranging from Tanka. And in their recommendation, I wouldn't even seen that featured, where they could have also recommended to make sure immediately, because there is a need, 85 in Tanka, when they only have one social worker. So here should be an immediate redeployment of a secondary social worker in Tanka. Because if they leave it floatly, at the end of the day, when would that be sorted out? So I think I want to add this for them to include in the recommendation an immediate deployment of another social worker to Tanka. Because if not, we don't wait, these issues, we don't wait for budgetary. It's, social workers are all over. So they should liaise with the Minister of Gender and Social Welfare and Health to make sure that issue is ironed out. So the Chair, I'm also adding this part of your recommendation. This should be an immediate effect to Tanka as social worker. Honorable Speaker, the other point also ranges from co-bedding of 2 infants in incubators. And also, when you look at the recommendation, it's floating. So it means you are giving the Minister of Health, Social Welfare, and also Minister of Gender a right. You went and see 2 in 1, and you are leaving it like that and now telling us they should equip and improve whatever. We need to make sure some of these issues are immediate. And when you look at their first recommendations, 1, Minister of Health, that's number 1 and number 2. I believe that it should be timeline. Give them timeline. You should not leave them to be floating like that. So on that note, I think these are my contribution. And when committee give recommendations, most of salient point, it should be timeline. I submit. Thank you.
Honorable members, on your behalf, I want to recognize the president of few officials from various departments or ministry. I'm not sure where they're coming from. They're behind there. So you are most welcome, and I hope you are taking note. Thank you for coming. Member for Same, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, the report for the Select Committee, Gender, Children and Social Welfare. Honorable Speaker, is a very good report when you look at it. And because each site that they have visited, it has some challenges. But Honorable Speaker, the most important thing of all is that this is a very important report. And if you look at the concluding remark, they stated that the health, gender must do something with this thing. What about education? Even the education, Minister of Health and Gender, they should be here. They should be here to look at, to hear these concerns. So education should know what is happening in these schools. What is happening there? Likewise, health. But Honorable Speaker, one important thing, when they visited Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, when they are talking about incubators, I think the committee should have visited Bansang, because Honorable Speaker is the only hospital around that side. They should visit that side to know the condition. I think next time they should try and visit that side also and tell us with the issue of incubators, because it is very far. From that area, you should know what is happening there. But other than that, Honorable Speaker, there is not much time. If not, we will dwell more on it. So thank you very much for giving me the floor.
Thank you. Member for Kiang West, you have the floor. And
Honorable
member for Sami, prior to giving you the floor, I acknowledge, I'm not sure where they're from, but I said some officials are here.
You have taken 15 seconds.
I think gender is here. Yeah, but this one, it affects gender. No, wait. Remember, we said lines department. The line department for this is gender. Of course, most departments, issues are cross-cutting. But when they take note, they will, of course, get in touch, contact their counterparts in various ministries. But what is important would be the recommendation that Parliament is going to make. And once recommendations are made, it is also forwarded to relevant institutions. So, member for Kiang West, you have the floor.
No, Speaker. Can I observe you?
Honorable Speaker, let us, some of the challenges we have here should have been addressed during the budget session to see how best we provide funds to these various institutions. This report it would have been better if it came earlier than now. Because, Honorable Speaker, I just want to touch on only one area. That is page 3, critical shortages in healthcare and medical equipment. This has not only highlights where only 4 babies share a single incubator, but it says compromising neonatal care and contributing to high mortality rate. The report is telling us our babies are dying. That's what the report is telling us. And this is one of the most important pillars of the SDGs, reduction of infant mortality rate. It would have been very better if this is informed by scientific data to inform us the death number as a result of this problem. That would be very good. But honorable members, this is very dangerous. Honorable members, we allocate resources here in this parliament. We oppose on it. And we went on a visit, they told us our babies are dying. What did we do about that? And we want to shout here again and tell them what are they going to do after a budget session? Where are they going to get the fund?
Member for Fonyi Brefet, you have the floor.
Speaker, Honorable Speaker, as a member of the Gender Committee and also a member to the Health Committee, there's this general problem that has been happening since whenever we visit the Edward Francis Health Edward Francis, we normally face the same problem. Radio warmer is a problem, incubator is a problem. From the health committee, whenever we lay our report here, we normally talk about that. Since last year, year before last, gender committee faced the same problem, yet still, the Ministry of Health could not settle that problem. And we always approve a very huge amount of budget for the Ministry of Health. This problem have been happening. You cannot take our 2 children, the same radio warmer, the same incubator, since many years up to now. And we always talk about only Edward Francis. But who knows what is happening at Biam? Who knows what is happening at other health centers? This is a problem that we definitely need to settle this problem. And also the move of the motion, thank you so much, our able vice chair. You jumped at the juveniles. Juveniles are facing problem, Honorable Speaker. Sometimes the delay for the juveniles to go to court is a problem. Some of them will stay there. Their parents don't visit them. Emotionally, it has affected the young ones in that place, which is not very good. I think this is a high time for the government to take a step to check our juveniles. If anybody is supposed to go and face the court to finish their case, let them do so. And some of them are overcrowded. They are at the same place. In a classroom where they're supposed to have only 25, they have almost 30-something. It's a problem that one, as a Gambian, we need to settle. Honorable Speaker.
Member for Pakal Upper Salum, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm also part of the committee, and I want to thank the Vice Chair. Honorable Speaker, I think it's very evident that we have an issue. We have an issue with our vulnerable population, and I think we need to work together to correct such. But again, the Minister of Gender cannot do it alone because they need to collaborate with other ministries. And to do that, we've highlighted this before. You know, it's not about giving money to a ministry to do A, B, C, and D. No. They must come with a strategic plan. They must come with something tangible that tells us this is what they want to do over a period of time. Parliament is not in the business of just taking 5 million or 10 million and just give to the ministry to do what they want to do. It doesn't work that way. Tell us in very clear terms, what are the plans you want to do for the juvenile? What do you want to do for the people at Tanka Tanka? What do you want to do? And comprehensively, Parliament can work one another, support, and to be able to do that. We must be the realities. If you tell me the number of incubators at the RVH 15, fine. But look at what the report is telling you also at the bottom. The mortality rate is high. However, during the discussion with the nurses at the intensive care unit, the committee was informed that the high rate is because babies are transferred from other facilities after referral, and most times they are referred very late. What's happening there? That means those people coming from the private sector, they are not doing the right thing in some kind of way. But who is supposed to check on them? It is the government that's supposed to check on those people. So if you hold somebody until it's very too late, then you want to take it to RVH or you want to take it to Bansak, and you expect them to do miracles, it's not going to work. If you are not capable, please allow the right institutions to take care of those children. But above all, Honorable Speaker, I think I would propose this. We need to work with the Minister of Gender. Let's document everybody that is part of the vulnerable population across the country. Let's have a database. We have vulnerable people across the country. People living with disability across, all over.
Well, you are next if you don't want. So you are next. Yeah, just start and give him the time to continue to observe you. Yeah, when you start, tell him to observe you. Banjul Note, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I will just malign on what the member from Upper Salum has said, but first to acknowledge and also to commend the mover of this motion and the entire team. Honorable Speaker, members have highlighted very serious issues as far as this report is concerned. And like the member who is my neighbor here, the member for Kiang West, said something very important about the first part of the report, that is a critical shortages in healthcare and medical equipment. Because these are very important things. Indeed, in this country, we have social problems. And in order to solve them, we must put the proper mechanisms in place. And it's not always about putting a lot of resources on this, but how to come up with better strategies to avoid the reoccurrence of what was happening before. Because if you look at this, 2 years ago, I stood here and I cried when I saw the report led by the Gender Committee on the same issue that has to do with the lack of incubators in our hospital. And some people out there were insulting me, not understanding what I was feeling that very moment. But now it is still happening again. And what can we do is not about providing the results, but what mechanisms do we have to put in place to make sure that we resolve this problem? Honorable Speaker, the issue of Tanka Tanka is something that we are all joking with, but one way or the other, and God forbid, we might see ourselves there. Let us try by all means to change that place. Let's improve Tanka Tanka. Tanka Tanka deserve better. And also when it comes to children that are suffering from Down syndrome, these are also another sector that we are not taking care of. But we are all human beings and we are parents. And be careful.
Honorable members, we now have only 4 minutes, so I will call the mover of the motion to make best use of the 4 minutes only. Technician, please give her 4 minutes.
Speaker, my tap was raised before all this period. Why you didn't call me?
You have only 4 minutes. I gave you the floor. You are sitting down.
And I'm calling your attention to my N2. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable members.
Darling, sit down. Let me address the Speaker. Speaker. Darling, sit down.
Time, please. Time.
No, because I raised my tag before some of them, and I saw you calling them before me. Because you saw me taking jotting, thinking that I was going after your government. That's the only thing. Because I saw you looking at me several times, and I suspect that you will focus me from talking. I suspect that it happens.
No,
because I saw you 3-4 times you were scanning at me, thinking that I was starting jotting. That will go against your government. Go ahead.
I have a list. It's not exhausted. And in fact, your name is there, but your name is there, Jarawes and others, but the time. So you have only 2 minutes now. Member for Sanamentring.
Honorable Speaker, I think something have been taken out of my time. You need to adjust it a bit.
No. Go ahead.
2 minutes?
No,
go ahead. I didn't give him the floor. You gave him the floor. Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much, honorable members, for taking part in this debate to make sure that you'll add on to the recommendations that the committee have already recommended with regards to the challenges that we're having. I'll start with Woolly East. Woolly East, talking about the neonatal, there is need to be addressed, and of course, the Tanka to conduct study to prevent a constant occurrence of the fire outbreak. Thank you very much for that. Fonyi Kansala, thank you for putting emphasis on the issues of addressing the social worker immediately and babies using 1 incubator for timeline to be given. I think, honorable member for Kansala, we haven't given exactly the timeline or the time frame, but we've also addressed in our challenges that these are things that needs to be done immediately. And for SAME, that the Education Ministry needs to be present to also take note as that of the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare. And of course, it has been mentioned in our statement or in our challenges or in our recommendations that the various ministries, the line ministries, has to be in collaboration with the Minister of Gender to make sure that these issues will be addressed. Bansang, thank you very much. And also that the facility should be visited, which we take note. Of course, the committee is taking note, and of course, the Minister of Gender also is here to take note about that. We need to be doing constant visit of the facility for your recommendation. Thank you very much to address the collaborations of the challenges. And for Kian West, thank you very much for also addressing that the critical shortages of health care and medical shortages needs to be addressed as well. Of course, the ministry is also here to take note. And thank you very much for realizing that these challenges is informing the maternal mortality. Thank you very much for that. Fonyi Berefet, thank you very much. The Radio Warmer budget being approved every budget session, but the implementation is always the challenge. So that we will have to work on that as a parliament. Of course, we will recommend the budgets. We will approve the budgets, but implementation is always the challenge. So next budget session, I think the line committee have to look into that and then address that situation to make sure that this bad situation will be addressed. And of course, the juvenile as well. Yes, thank you very much for adding on our recommendations or the challenges that we've also lined out with regards to a juvenile. And of course, something that you also add is very, very important, that the education sector and of course the food delays, for the juvenile members to be receiving on time. And on private sectors, also health needs to be monitored. So we thank each and every one. The database needs to be collected, and people will live for people living with disabilities. So on that note, I thank each and every member for contributing to this report. Thank you so much. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to take my seat. Thank you.
Be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Select Committee on Gender, Children, and Social Welfare of the National Assembly countrywide to selected orphanage rehabilitation centers and juvenile prison from the 5th to the 10th May 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Clerk, we may proceed. Yes.
Yes, sorry for this observation. You see, Honorable Speaker, there is a settled practice here that we cannot continue. When these committee reports are printed and given to every individual member, we still allow the committee members to go through the report page by page, waste time, and when members want to contribute, time is finished. I think when this report are given to members, let the committee chairperson go straight to the conclusions. Because otherwise, they will talk for 45 minutes, 15 minutes, we cannot debate. It's not fair. So let the committee chairperson go straight to conclusions so that members can have opportunity to intervene.
Thank you, honorable members. We had the member for Latikunda Sabiji, but as it is, that is a procedure, but I'm now throwing it to him and members. This is a procedure as far as committee reports are concerned. Clerk, we may proceed.
Report of the Select Committee on Regional Government, Land, Ombudsman, and IEC on the National Assembly on the performance audit report by the National Audit Office on the management of land registration and documentation by the Ministry of Land and Regional Development by the chairperson of the committee.
Mr. Chairperson, please go ahead and lay your report.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, the report of the Select Committee on Regional Government Lands, Ombudsman, and IEC on the performance audit report on the management of land registration and documentation by the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government, November 2025. Honorable Speaker, I want to try by all means to summarize, as the Honorable Member for Sabiji said, but the acknowledgement aspect, because this is a performance report, so we need to acknowledge the people, the stakeholders that were part of the process. So acknowledgement, the Select Committee on Regional Government Lands, Ombudsman, and the Independent Electoral Commission wish to place on record its sincere appreciation to the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly for the strategic guidance, administrative coordination, and resource facilitation provided throughout the conduct of this oversight exercise. The committee further extends profound gratitude to the Office of the Auditor General for the technical expertise, detailed analysis, and operational transparency demonstrated during the review of the performance audit report. The contribution of the audit terms, particularly in providing clarification, supplementary evidence, and exceptional contextual explanation, were instrumental in enabling the committee to undertake a comprehensive and evidence-driven assessment of the audit findings. The committee also recognized the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government and its satellite institutions for their cooperation, timely appearance, and willingness to engage constructively with the committee throughout the oversight process. Their submissions, response to queries, and readiness to provide additional documentation were invaluable in helping the committee to understand sectoral challenges, institutional performance gaps, and areas requiring urgent policy and administrative reform. The committee equally appreciates the dedication and hard work of the support staff assigned to this exercise. Their diligence in organizing hearing, preparing documentation, recording proceedings, and providing continuous logistical assistance to ensure that the committee deliver its responsibility with coherence and procedural integrity. In sum, the committee reaffirmed its commitment to upholding the principle of accountability, transparency, and good governance in line with the constitutional mandate of the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, the introduction, members, you can go through it, but the findings of the report, on findings, the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government hold the primary mandate for land administration in the Gambia. In collaboration with its technical department and affiliated agencies, the ministry is responsible for the formulating and implementing land policies, as well as overseeing local government authorities, area council chiefs, alcalos, as provided for in the Local Government Act 2002. Additionally, the ministry plays a critical role in monitoring and coordinating central government initiatives and policies as they relate to land governance, local administration, and community development. Honorable Speaker, the methodology that we use, the committee received a formal presentation from the National Audit Office, followed by a detailed consideration session by honorable members. A question and answer session was subsequently conducted to clarify issues, obtain further insight, and deepen the committee's understanding of the audit findings. The objective of the report, the primary objective of this audit was to evaluate the adequacy and effectiveness of the measures instituted by the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government to ensure an efficient and effective land registration and documentation process. Especially, the audit assessed the capacity of land administrators in terms of both expertise and workforce, the structural system in place, and the legal and administrative frameworks underpinning land governance. The audit covers the period from January 2018 to December 2021. Honorable Speaker, some of the findings highlighted in this performance report are: one, I will just read the subhead: inadequate and obsolete framework, absence of relevant policy document, obsolete legal framework, two, capacity related issues, the ministry lack of required expertise, inadequate workforce capacity, long bureaucracy channel of the land registration and documentation process, external bureaucracies and internal bureaucracy, paper-based application process, management of land registration files, lack of digitalized information system for land administration, lack of required logistics, lack of uniform land transfer procedure at the local level, Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, the performance audit underscores systematic long-standing weakness within the national land administration architecture, driven principally by an outdated legal framework, the absence of the national land policy, inadequate staffing, and persistent capacity gaps. Insufficient logistical support and the continued reliance on manual and fragment process. These deficiencies have collectively contributed to operational delays, inefficiencies, highlighting corruption risk and an escalation of land-related disputes across the country. Unless urgent and comprehensive reforms are undertaken, including the revision of legal frame instrument, the development of the land policy, the digitalization of core function, targeted capacity building, and the standardization of procedures, the ministry will remain constrained in its ability to deliver effective, accountable, and transparent land governance. The committee stressed that failure to act decisively poses significant risk to social stability, national development, and public confidence in the Gambia government system. Honorable Speaker, moving to the general recommendation of all the major challenges highlighted. One, the Select Committee, having thoroughly considered all sub-recommendations contained in the performance audit report, resolved to consolidate and prioritize key action points that warrant urgent and decisive intervention. Accordingly, the committee recommends the following. One, the ministry should develop and implement a comprehensive national land policy that articulates the country's strategic agenda on land governance. The policy must introduce necessary reforms, clearly outline institutional role and responsibility, and eliminate overlap to enhance coordination across the land sector. Moving to 3, the Ministry of Land and Regional Government should design local and international capacity building programs for technical staff to address existing skills gaps. The ministry should collaborate with the Personnel Management Office, PMO, to ensure the recruitment and retention of qualified personnel with the requisite professional expertise. 4, the ministry should further consult with the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science, and Technology to explore the development of relevant academic programs that support long-term human resource needs in land administration. Additionally, the ministry should work with PMO to establish an appropriate manpower structure that aligns with its operational requirements. 5, in the medium to long term, the ministry should establish a one-stop shop for land registration and documentation to streamline procedures, eliminate avoidable delays, and strengthen stakeholders' engagement. This initiative should incorporate a digitalized system or other efficient mechanism to enhance service delivery. 6, the committee urged the ministry to champion full-scale digitalization across its department to promote efficiency, transparency, and effective monitoring. This includes ensuring the complete operationalization of the workflow system donated by UNDP and provide the necessary IT infrastructure to support its functionality. 7, the ministry, in collaboration with the Boundary Commission, should map out both internal and external boundaries to prevent future dispute and provide clarity for land administration and planning. 8, given the strategic importance of land administration to national development and revenue generation, the committee underscores the need for sustained investment in the sector to minimize both development and physical outcome. 9, the ministry should issue a clear directive prohibiting alkalolus from charging fee for local land transfer service unless officially authorized. The ministry should determine whether such charges are necessary to support administrative functions. 10. A standardized fee structure should be developed, published, and strictly enforced to ensure accountability and prevent exploitation. The committee further calls for the immediate standardization of local land transfer form and documents accompanied by nationwide sensitization of all alcalos, irrespective of the frequency and land transaction in their region, on proper land documentation and registration procedure. 11. Alcalos should be sensitized on proper documentation processing, filing, and record keeping to strengthen administrative reliability and reduce risks of misplacement or fraud. 12. The ministry and its departments should be adequately resourced with facility, equipment, mobility, logistical support to ensure the efficient and effective execution of their mandates. Last but not the least, the ministry should formulate clear short, medium, and long-term timeline for the implementation of all recommended action points to ensure regular processing monitoring. So on that note, Honorable Speaker, just to go to the list of the members of the committee, Honorable Suleiman Jammeh, Chairperson, Honorable Keba Jallo, Vice Chairperson, Honorable Keba K. Baro, Member, Honorable Musa Baji, Member, Honorable Omar Job, Member, Honorable Ibrahim Jete, Member, Honorable Aliu Balde, Member, Honorable Isa Conte, Member, Honorable Abdullah Njai, Member, Honorable Alaji Babu Sise, Member, Honorable Dauda Jeng, Member, Honorable Kemo Gassama. And the support staff during this performance report, the support staff that participated with the stakeholders are Ms. Fatu Jiba, Committee Clerk, Ms. Fatu Keta, Committee Clerk, Ms. Fatu Mata K. Sisaho, Research Officer, Mr. Abdullah Bondi, Subject Matter Specialist, and you have Mr. Almame Mankajang from the National Audit Office, NAO, Ms. Yasin Jan, NAO, Ms. Binta Tarawale, NAO, Mr. Seku Danso. So on that note, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you. Any seconder? Member for Latikunda Sabiji.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor, and I rise to second the report. Honorable Speaker.
2 minutes, Technician, 2 minutes.
This country, if you go to the courts, you realize that 80% of litigations before the court are all land-related issues due to long land leasing process and 3 or 4 administrators of our land. Last time we told Minister, land administrator in this country should be reduced. In this country, you have Alcalo as land administrator, you have chief as land administrator, you have a minister for local government, minister responsible for local government as land administrator. And sometime before this loan leasing process, you purchase a land from Alcalo, you embark on your land leasing process. Alcalo will sold the same land to another person before you are able to complete your land leasing process. So I think the committee acted wise to recommend those kind of things. Where I find so disturbing and very uncomfortable, Honorable Speaker, is where page 16, where the committee, number 6, lack of uniform land transfer procedures at the local government level. To summarize that part, Honorable Speaker, they said the committee noted significant irregularities in the land transfer processes overseen by the alcalos, which is a direct violation of Section 41 of Local Government Act. And the same committee, instead of recommending prosecution for those alcalos, because it's very certain, those alcalos are public officers and they acted in that capacity. And there is no justification there is no reasonable justification excuse. Second, the luxury of time.
You don't have any luxury. Just complete your sentence. No, no tradition. Complete your sentence.
Thank you very much. If law is violated, there cannot be any recommendation besides prosecuting somebody who violated the law. We cannot break the law by improving. We cannot improve the implementation law without prosecuting persons who violated the law. If the alcalos violated the law, why is the committee giving a recommendation besides prosecuting those alcalos that are involved in violating the law? Thank you very much.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands, Ombudsman, and IEC of the National Assembly on the performance audit report by the National Audit Office on the management of land registration and documentation by the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Any honorable member who wishes to partake in the debate may raise his or her hand to catch our eyes. And of course, reminder, 2 minutes per member. Beginning with the honorable member for Woolly East.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank the committee for a very good job. The report is very good. I just have a clarification to seek. In page 6, the report says there is no national land policy. There is lack of national land policy. And we are provided this document which says National Land Policy Implementation Plan. So I want that clarification whether we have land policy or we don't have land policy. That is one issue that I want to raise. I want clarification on that. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I think with this report, what we require really is political will. And my suspicion is that there is some political will at the ministry to ensure that land issues are dealt with. So this parliament should take it up as a matter of urgency to ensure that we don't only sit down and wait, but we become proactive to ensure that the political will is tested. On that note, I thank you for the time. Thank you.
Thank you. The member for Sanementring, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, looking at the report laid by the local government or the regional government on page 12, the management of land registration files, Honorable Speaker, I believe going through that paragraph, I believe this is one of the reasons why the land dealers are, using us or they're relying on to sell and resell one land to various people. I think these are some of the challenges that we need to remedy. And also the absence of digitalized information system for land administration is also one of the challenges that the Minister of the Lands Office is also encountered and which is also very, very important to be addressed. Because lack of digitalized information and of course the filing system due to areas or due to rooms that they normally kept their files. I think we have to do away with that particular filing system now. It has to be digitalized because we cannot keep papers in rooms where they will be dilapidated and of course areas that, papers that dust are covering now or whatsoever. So these are some of the challenges that haven't gone through the report that we'll have to do something. At least I will also recommend for the line committee to be looking at these portions very well to make sure that I don't know whether it's part of the budget that has just been approved by Parliament. If not, but they will have to consider, giving the Minister of Lands to remedy those situations of keeping those files, papers in such a bad condition. On that note, I beg to take my seat. Thank you.
Member for Busumbala, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I am in total support of this report of the Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands and Ombudsman. Honorable Speaker, I think it is timely that we adopt measures to address some of the irregularities that happens in our land administrations. Basically, the committee have done justice to this particular report, in essence, trying to pinpoint issues that bring conflict within the framework of the administration of lands in the Gambia. Honorable Speaker, looking at their general recommendations, paragraph 9, where it has been clearly stated, the Minister of Lands and Regional Administration should issue a clear directive prohibiting alcalos from charging fees for local land transfer services unless officially authorized. The ministry should determine whether such charges are necessary to support administrative functions. Obviously, Honorable Speaker, this has been a long-standing practice within our communities. The alcalos are often charging land transfer fees, which is in essence very, very, very important in order to sustain the alcalos, assert and sustain the alcalos administrative authority on those lands. Because if that is not done, if the
Complete your sentence.
Yeah, what I'm saying here is, I believe the charging of those fees is to authenticate and ascertain the alcalos' responsibility in administering such landed properties within their jurisdiction. So, basically, I concord with the committee's recommendation, but further stresses that it needs to be officialized as to how much percentage should be due to them for proper administration of such lands. Thank you.
Thank you. May I now call upon the mover of the motion to respond to issues raised and wind up the debate.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, once again for giving me the opportunity. Yes, to respond to some of the members, I'll start with the Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabigi. He talked about the Tangi Committee and also talked about the alcalo selling lands to different individuals and also violating the laws. So this is why this performance report audit was very important, because at least we were able to come up with some findings and challenges. So this is why the committee deemed it necessary to come up with a recommendation which the ministry should take note so that they can implement it. So on that note, for Honorable Member for Woolley East, yes, because this report was from 2018 to 2021. But right now, I can happily inform you that there is a land policy and it has been validated. So I think with this land policy, it will be able to, at least address some of these challenges that we are facing in terms of land administration and documentation and registration. So to the Honorable Member for Sami Mentereng, also highlighted on people selling land to different people because we don't have a digitalized system. So this is why, in fact, as a committee, we are, in fact, since 2-3 years ago, we are trying to work with the ministry so that they can, introduce this GIS system. So I think the process is ongoing. This is why you see this close code. That's the first phase. So they are working towards that direction. Wherein, if our system is all digitalized, you know, you will not be able to sell land to different individuals. So I think this is noted. This is why we, in fact, put it in our recommendation. So to the honorable member for Busumbala, yes, also talk about the alcalos charging fees, which need to be officialized. Yes, because the thing is, basically, alcalos, they just charge this fee at their own discretion. So this is why, in fact, we are trying to see, because normally they shouldn't charge. But we all understand the situation of the alcalos. So what we are trying to recommend and say here is about whether the ministry to regulate it in such a way they will just peg it to a certain amount. If you are doing alcalo transfer, at least this is the amount that you need to pay. So it's left to the individual, whatever. But officially that has to be communicated. And also equally, if you look at the recommendations, they don't have uniform form. So this is why we are also recommending to the ministry to ensure that they come up with one uniform form, land transfer, that will be given to each alcalo. The difference will be just the village name. So that at least they can administer the transfer process and ensure that at least we work together. So on that note, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank all the members for the support, and therefore I beg to move for the Assembly to consider this report. Thank you.
Honorable members, be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands, Ombudsman, and IEC of the National Assembly on the performance audit report by the National Audit Office and the management of land registration and documentation by the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, we may proceed.
Thank you. Standing Order 66. Second reading of the National Assembly Salaries and Pensions Amendment Bill 2025 by Honorable Keba Lang Fofana, nominated member and member of the Assembly Standing Committee.
Honorable members will recall that the first reading of the National Assembly Salaries and Pension Amendment Bill 2025. The member for Lower Salom, please. No, I have been continuously hearing your voice, and Nyamina Dankunku, please. Nyamina Dankunku, please go back to your seat. Order, member for Nyamina Dankunku, please go back to your seat. Nyamina Dankunku, go back to your seat. Honorable members, you will recall that the first reading of the National Assembly Salaries and Pension Amendment Bill 2025 was done on Monday, 29 September 2025, and today is appointed for the second reading in accordance with Standing Order 66 sub 2. Therefore, pursuant to Order 67 of the Standing Orders, I now invite Honorable Keba Lang Fofana, nominated member, to move a motion for the second reading of the bill, entitled the National Assembly Salaries and Pension Amendment Bill 2025. Honorable member.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this bill seeks to provide for the payment of gratuity to the following new classes of persons. A, the next of kin of a member who dies before the end of their term. B, a member who resigns or is recalled by the electorate. And C, the member completing the residual term of a member who dies, resigned, or is recalled by the electorate. It is envisaged that once this bill is passed, it will greatly improve the comfort and convenience of National Assembly members. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I move the motion that the bill be read a second time. Thank you.
Any seconder? Member for Lower Salem?
Honorable Speaker, I write to second the motion.
Thank you. In accordance with Order 67, Sub 1 of the Standing Orders, I now open the floor for debate on the general merits and principle of the bill. Any honorable member who wishes to partake in the debate may do so now by show of tag. Beginning with the member for Nyamina Danko.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, as the mover of the motion said, the bill before this August Assembly come to regularize certain issues that affect National Assembly members. Honorable members and Honorable Speaker, if you looked at the amendment, it's actually dealing with the issue of gratuity, and especially when a member die or he resign. Honorable member, Honorable Speaker, history have shown us this thing happened to certain honorable members who died and they were unable to receive their gratuity. Honorable Fode Jibani Manka for Janjambure, Honorable Modu Bamba Gay, Honorable Demba So, Honorable Fake Bakoli. Honorable Speaker, all these members of Parliament, though Honorable Modu Bamba Gay is not a disease, but when he succeeded Honorable Pamali Sise in Lower Salem in a by-election, he completed that term, but couldn't receive his gratuity because of the ambiguity of the law. Then Honorable Demba So is a disease. When he died, he couldn't receive his gratuity, but the successor, who is a member of Parliament, when he came in, he pursued his matter. He was paid. Meaning, then the late
complete your sentence.
Honorable
Put it on again, it will come. Put it on, it will come. Put it on again.
Okay. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Fake Bakoli also is one of the members who died. And if you look at for the case of Honorable Fake Bakoli, Honorable Fake Bakoli died late, almost at the end of the legislature. A by-election was not even conducted in that constituency. But unfortunately, because of the law, he couldn't receive his gratuity.
Thank you.
So what we are doing here, Honorable Speaker, is not about salary increment.
Thank you, Honorable.
It is.
Thank you. I now give the floor to the member for Fonyi Bintankaranai.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I am against the National Assembly Salaries and Pension Bill, just like Satan is innocent in this bill. Honorable Speaker, as I said earlier on, The way I went against the Judiciary Enumeration Bill is the same way I am going against National Assembly Salaries and Pension Bill. We cannot continue to use the National Assembly as a cover-up for politicians and their attitude. However, Honorable Speaker, I want it to be loud and clear that if opposition MPs are accepting whatever NPP MPs are putting forward, then there is no difference between the opposition MPs and the NPP members of parliament. This National Assembly, it is a National Assembly that will stand up to create like what we call Teacher Service Commission. But most of the bills that we have passed here, we did pass it to regulate the behavior of civil servants. Now the bill that we are passing here is to instead better ourselves, better our condition, but not to reflect on the realities of the state. And this is my stand. And I said it, and I am at liberty to say whatever I feel like. Just like a man will say whatever he thinks, just to get to the woman's underwear. The same way, politicians will say whatever they think, just to get the nation to be looted. And this time around, it will not be accepted.
Honorable members, honorable members,
yes.
Please take your seat. That is not parliamentary. You cannot, please, that is not parliamentary. Don't do that. Continue.
Honorable Speaker, at this time, you must learn to listen. And it will be better if...
Honorable, you cannot say that to the speaker. I am here to coordinate the proceedings. And if I feel like that language is out of order, when I draw your attention, you cannot say that to me. Don't do that. Continue.
Honorable Speaker, and I stand on my ground. I'm not withdrawing anything here.
Honorable, take your seat. Honorable.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, you cannot behave like that. I have not even asked you to withdraw anything. You cannot behave like that. You cannot use your seat. What you are advocating, so if that is the true representation of your very self, you should behave orderly. You cannot behave like that. If you believe in the books, I am telling you in accordance with your standing orders, that is not parliamentary, and you still want to argue with me on that basis.
You must not tell me how to behave and how not to behave, Honorable Speaker. I am entitled to my opinion, and my opinion I stand to defend. And that is what I stand for. And as I said, I am not here to please anybody. That's my ground, Honorable Speaker. Time is up, I rest my...
Can I observe the proceedings? I think members need to be given ample time to discuss about this issue, because 2 minutes will not be enough. In fact, if you check on the list down there, because we have been given one hour, allow members to come, then to enlighten the populace what is happening. Yes. I beg for that. I want to move a motion to amend the 2 minutes that was given to 5 minutes. Mr. Speaker.
No. Honorable members, whenever the speaker feels like giving additional time to a member, he can use his discretion to do that. Now, the member for Woolly East, you have the floor. Woolly East, you have the floor. We understand, honorable members, order. You understand the member for Fonyi Bintan Karana have misinformed the public.
Honorable Speaker, you have to...
members...
I have not misled...
But... Honorable members, yeah, you are here. No, honorable members, please. The member for Woolly East, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, whenever you talk about salaries and allowances of National Assembly members, becomes a very sensitive issue. And we need to definitely inform the general public about the bill. The bill is not about increasing salaries or allowances. It's talking about the anomalies, like the Honorable Member for Nyamina responded to explain. I would have thought that what this assembly should think of is to create some kind of remuneration authority for National Assembly members, so that it will be well discussed, and so that whatever we do, we will not be pit against the general public. It is the National Assembly members really that approve the budget. So if they come to approve their allowances and salaries also, the general public will definitely be interested. But this bill is not about that. It's talking about if you die or something, you need to be remunerated, just like in the civil service. They too, when they die or they get retired, they get their pension. National Assembly members also are entitled to pension, are entitled to any other remuneration they are entitled to if they die also. So that's what it is trying to address. There is no other ulterior motive relating to this. If there is, I will raise up and oppose it, but I did not see that in the bill. On that note, I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, member for Woolly East. I think it's very clear. This bill does not seek to introduce or increase any allowance, salary, benefits for any member of parliament, but rather, as it happens in the civil service and in other arms of government, that's the abnormalities you want to regularize. It's not to increase anyone's salary or allowance or benefit. That must be clear. Thank you for that. Now, the member for Kiang West, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Let me first put on record that today I beg to differ with my very own friend, Honorable, but that is not bad to differ in opinion, particularly about substance of the matter. I want to support this bill 1,000,000%. Honorable Speaker, if a civil servant retires, gets a retirement benefit. If you are in the civil service or public service, they retires or dies, their benefits never cut. And this is provided for by the law of this country. If you go to private sector, last year we passed the Labor Act in this very parliament. Their benefits are there. Honorable Speaker, it's very sad. Let me first pray for late Honorable Fakeba Kole for Kia West constituency, who served in this parliament for 4 years, 6 months. 4 years, 6 months. 4 complete years, 6 months. He has never benefited a butut of the time he served as a member of parliament. His family has never benefited from a butut. If a civil servant dies today, their family will benefit. This is what the bill seeks to address. If it is because of this, Kia West is going to record me, let them record me today. This bill is genuine enough. Honorable Fakeba Kole, may his soul rest in perfect peace. His family would have benefited from that. My predecessor, he is the person I replaced today, who fought strongly and fought for my party. That gave me an opportunity for nobody to be able to challenge my seat in Kia West constituency. That person dies, could not benefit from what he...
Give him more time, please.
Honorable Speaker, that will not be fair to me. I was not given any extra time.
Honorable Speaker, let me put this on record. I am telling people today to look at the content of the bill, what the bill seeks to address. The laws of this country provided that when I do not perform according to your expectation, you
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Yeah, which order number?
Honorable Speaker, I am rising on point of order 19, decision of the Speaker. Honorable Speaker, when the question of order has been stated, the member who raised it shall resume his or her seat, and no member except by the leave of the Speaker shall rise until the Speaker has decided the question.
Yes. Go ahead.
It's the Speaker that is opening my. Why are you opening my mic?
Can you please go ahead?
No. You cannot off my mic when I am on point of order, Honorable Speaker. You cannot do that. Okay, what I am saying is, you said the decision, whatever that you bring forward, according to this order, must also be based on the standing order, and your decisions also must be based on standing order. And you give us 2 minutes as an individual, and you are giving member for Kiang West extra 4 minutes.
Thank you.
Which is not justifiable.
Thank you. And that is the decision of the Speaker to give him extra time in accordance with the law that you read. So we respect that decision. Please.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Before I conclude, let us make these things very clear to the public and people understand what is going on. And this bill is a public document once it is laid before the Parliament. Every citizen could have access to this document and read the document and digest the content of the document. I was not comfortable when I saw people insulting Honorable Kebalan Fofana on social media for putting up this bill. And if we want to make ourselves a saint, I swear by Allah, to leave Honorable Sofa for this, which he has not committed anything wrong in this country. What happened is, he is trying to address what I have just said here. When Honorable Fatima Koli died, those of them who are talking, who give whatever to their families today, and state didn't compensate a serving member of Parliament who dies during the course of serving the House. Public service is an honor. Honorable Speaker, thank you so much.
Thank you. The member for Fonye Councillor, you have the floor. The member for Lower Fuladu West, you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah.
I register this, and let me be on record. Nominated member, we are in this together. The battle for Torobora Mountain will continue. This bill that is before us, Honorable Speaker, I believe no one on earth would dispute the reality. Let's agree that death is a thief. Death is a thief, and the crusade of that thief is in the head of all of us. Honorable Speaker, I was vividly informed that Honorable Fakeba Koli, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him Jannatul Firdaus, the wife was circumambulated in this house to see how best the family could be supported. But to no avail. 4 years, 6 months, -6 for the period of 5 years. Honorable Demba Sow, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him Jannat. The same, the family, the wife, the kids are all suffering. But a member who came to complete a term circumambulated between the National Assembly and that of Justice, and he was paid. The person who served 3 years is not even paid. So do we think we'll be here to give this message to our people? And the most interesting part, Honorable Speaker, I am putting this to the Gambia at large. Let's not be sentimental in issues of judgmental. This is a national cause. I am not doing it for me as Honorable Jiba or Keba Langfofana as a nominated member. No, we are doing it to regulate the wrongs that has been created against other people who are already in the grave. Their sons, their daughters, families.
You have got time. Give him more time.
Honorable Speaker, you know, for us here, this is one of the most simplest bills
Skeleton. It's not talking about you are increasing the speaker's salary, Honorable Jiba's salary. It is saying that regulate the wrongs of those people. I can tell you, ministers are not paid pensions. After serving their period, they are paid their gratuity. Even it's 1 year. Civil servants are paid pensions. Today, if I serve my 5 years, I will only be paid gratuity. Now, may Allah forbid.
Honorable Speaker.
May Allah forbid.
Honorable Speaker, the parliament is not fair to me.
Member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai, please stop using the mics. Please. Fonyi Councillor, continue. Fonyi Councillor, continue.
That's against me. I am ready for it.
Honorable Speaker, where I will conclude, let's be realistic. The Prophet ﷺ said to each one of us, he said, Kullukum ra'i wa kullukum mas'ulu anna ra'atihi. Everybody is a cattle rearer. Allah will ask you, who rear your cattle? What do you have did in this world? This bill has no controversy. An honorable nominated member, we are making it crystal clear. We are foot soldiers. Anything that is wrong, we will voice it out, but anything that is right, we will also speak out. And I'm putting this to my people of Fonyi Councillor. I can die today. If I die serving 2 years, 3 years, my kids will be 0. They'll be vulnerable in the family. Do we deserve that? A representative of the people. This is not about a caricature. Let them talk. Let them continue to talk. But honorable members, let's correct the wrong. And we are here for that. And this crusade will continue. And we are thanking you, honorable nominated member. You are only not nominated. But today we are giving you the cap that you have availed the suffering of those vulnerable kids whose parents have died and they have $0. And if it is possible, honorable speaker, we can even what? Retroactive, if it is possible. We do a retroactive law for Fakeba and them also to benefit. Let's be honest. They have to. Their kids are vulnerable. Some of them are not even going to school. Do we sit here and praise ourselves? Are we representative of the people? I am not in that bandwagon. We are here for change, and that change will continue. This bill, let's pass it. Let's pass it immediately, and we make sure that our solutions are solved. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Honorable members, in accordance with the standing orders, decisions made by the Speaker are final. And earlier on, when the member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai made that demeanor and very negative and unacceptable comment against women, and I asked him to stop because it was unparliamentary. That was so disrespectful to women of the world, not only the Gambia. And he insisted. It was based on that I asked him to stop, and that is not parliamentary. And he still continued to insist. I want members to read our standing orders and please refrain from those comments. And once speaker decide, allow proceeding to continue. Now, the member for Lower Fuller Dues, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I join my colleagues to put my blessing on the bill. The bill is to address the gaps that exist in our laws. And I join my colleagues to thank honorable nominated member. But I just want for the media, howsoever one is hungry for power, howsoever you want to seek either re-election or any position, you must do it, but in justifying the truth. This bill don't come to increase salaries. This bill does not come to increase allowances. This bill purposely to address the gap that have already existed. And this have been seen, the late Fabakari Koli, may his soul rest in peace. So if any member come here wanting to play the gallery or social media caption, it have been exposed today that this bill is not there to increase salary, but is to address matters of public concern. And I think the record should be straight. And we should be very cautious on how we act in parliament. Howsoever we want to get headlines on the media, it should be justified. And now, this is in the public domain for whosoever interested to look at the objective and the merits of this bill. It is to address an issue. So I urge my colleagues to join this endeavor to make sure that this bill is 100% supported. So I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. The member for Lower Salum, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. May I also join my colleagues, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think we need to know the agenda on our table. Very true. This bill, the title is National Assembly Salaries and Pension Amendment Bill 2025. The reason why they capture it like this, the Principal Amendment Act, this is why they put it this way, to insert the provision inside this particular act. This is why it goes like this. Honorable Speaker, members talked about many issues, and it's a sad nation. You said you are representing people. Give adequate information to the people. We are not increasing any salary. Today, we have seen what has happened in our midst. A member will drive to home, you have an accident. Sorry for that. Things can happen. Today, Fabakar Kiang West passed away for 4 years, 6 months. The kids doesn't have nothing, and he has served something else. In fact, most of our members who passed away during their time, they sold their land that was given to them. To make sure that to keep those kids at the family. Now this bill, it's very easy. Just go to the explaining note memorandum, the object and reasons of the bill. You cannot make people, to disregard Parliament, to make yourself engage in Parliament. It cannot happen, Honorable Speaker, because now you are showing people what is written in the document. It's not found in the document. That we have not increased salary. But today, 3 items that are mentioned in this bill. One of them is that the next of kin. Honorable Speaker, the document that's in my table doesn't say anything salary increment. What 3 captions I have? The next of kin of members who died before the end of their term. A member who resigned or recalled by the electorate, and the person who is completing or a residual term of a member who died or resigned or recalled. Honorable Speaker, we are in this bill that mentions salary increment. Honorable members, I think we cannot give that caption to the media personnel. If you are aiming to do something else, you cannot paint us dirty. Whatever today a member is today entitled, there are people who decide that before you come to Parliament. And this National Assembly, being independent, we serve as a member in that time. 2022, members of Parliament thought it wise that we need this document. Honorable Speaker, I think, honorable members, let's educate our people. Let's not be a fool to our people. Because other messages that are coming forward, I think is good. Member being a sitting member, you don't know what is in your document. It's very sad, Honorable Speaker. There is no salary increment, and there is no allowance increment. In fact, people who are insulting the member, they should not. In fact, he presented this document, but it's a document from a committee, a select committee that joined and given that powers to represent this document on behalf of the National Assembly members. Today, I can come and go for it. I passed that. Somebody comes in, but I have a serving period for 3 years. My people need it, or my kids.
The member for Sabah Sanjal, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would also want to join you to make it very clear, like you just made mention, that the National Assembly Salaries and Pensions Amendment Bill of 2025 does not seek to increase any single butut dollars on our salary. Honorable Speaker, when I read the objects and reasons of this bill, the first one that I saw says the next of kin of a member who dies before the end of their term. And it has been mentioned here that there have been members who died before the end of their term. And they have been struggling. Their next of kin have been struggling in this country. Honorable Speaker.
And in fact, what they are going to compute is the number of years or months the member served already, not the entire term. It's what has served as it happened in the civil service.
Exactly, Honorable Speaker, like you said. And you see, Honorable Speaker, death is indeed an inevitable part of life. It is a universal truth that affects all of us. And that's the fact of the matter. It's a natural part of human experience and is something that we all must face. And we need to put this into consideration. I want to be on record, Honorable Speaker, that if this bill, National Assembly Salaries and Pension Amendment Bill, is here to increase any single dollar, I would have rejected it. But there is no single dollar that this bill seeks to increase on our salaries. Let us not misinform the society. And let us not use this platform as a place where we sell our personal agendas. It's not correct. We are here to represent our people, Honorable Speaker. Definitely. And the people that we represent, we must not misinform them. Honorable to complete. Honorable Speaker, if we respect the people that we are representing, we should not use this platform to misinform them or give them informations that are incorrect. I must join Honorable Lower Salum, who has made it very clear that the reason why we have this as a heading captured like this as National Assembly Salaries and Pensions Amendment Bill is because the Parent Act reads like that. And there is nothing that we can do if we want to insert a new clause. We must maintain the headings of the Parent Act. That is exactly what we are doing and nothing else. We are not here to increase any salaries, and if it seeks to increase any butut, I know that we would have rejected it. So we do not have to misinform people. You see, when we are here, let us just speak the truth. It pains when you speak the truth. But, as far as I am concerned, there is life after Parliament. And there is life after death. We must be judged of what we have done. So we must be truthful. We must be truthful. Whatsoever the case may be, قل جاء الحق ولو كان مرا قد جعلنا الله لكل شيء قدر. This is the right time. We are doing what is right, representing our people. And we will never, never and ever mislead or misinform our people as far as the proceedings of the 6th legislature is concerned. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. The member for Nyani, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I would like to seize this opportunity to join my colleagues and also thank the nominated member, Honorable Keba Langfofana, for coming up with this bill. Honorable Speaker, Parliament is all about research, reading, and understanding. One can read, but you may find it difficult to understand. But there is nothing in this bill that even indicates figure. And if anybody can show me that there is a figure here for increment of salary, wallahi, billahi, wallahi, I will resign from this position today. We must not mislead the public. We must know that no matter what we say here today, let us be ready to say it tomorrow. Wanting to be a caption of the media should not make us to come and stand here and mislead it. I've seen nothing wrong in this bill other than for the bill to aim to entrust fairness social protection, and also protect victims of families that are suffering. And if there was any avenue for us to consider or to prepare, put it in this bill for the families of the late MPs that we mentioned here to be considered, wallahi, I will definitely support that. It is important that if we want to be media captions, let us do something that calls for it. If we are looking for anything tomorrow, wallahi, this is not the best time for us to look for that thing. Let us tell the truth. Even whereas they are killing us, let us be ready to tell the truth. Thank you.
Member for Combo East, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I had not wanted to shed light on this, but I think my constituency is one of the constituencies that is affected mostly on
You are
this.
not audible enough. Can you increase your voice, please?
My constituency becomes one of the most victimized constituency that was affected on these clauses. Most of our active serving members of National Assembly that once served this National Assembly in the name of Combo East are late now without their dues being paid to their families, and their families are left struggling today. It's going to be a big shame if this kind of laws are being brought to rectify those things. And some of them were people that even voted for these kind of laws to stand, and they now become victims of these laws, and their families are now facing it. Now I am urging all serving National Assembly members, this is not about gallery, this is not about the media to capture me and tell me this. We are trying to play justice here. If I serve my 5-year term, I'll be paid. But how about someone that is succeeding me tomorrow, who will be serving 2 months, 3 months of his service? Would not be fair. It's not about me. It's about those people that are coming forth and those people that are coming in. I am in fact suggesting this law to be retroactive so that other members that are victims will be compensated duly, because they are families. It's going to be unfair. It is an obligation to this House to make sure that those families are being taken care of. They are struggling on their school education, on their school fees, their medical bills, and their feeding. As serving members, it is going to be pitiless for Gambians to object to this law.
Thank you very much. I now invite the member for Jara West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And I also want to thank the nominated member for tabling this bill. Honorable Speaker, I think if we are to represent our people, we should represent them very well, in the sense that we have access to whatever is brought in these chambers. If we are given bills or whatever document it is, let's go over the documents, understand them. If there are some things that we don't understand, let's seek for clarity before we misinform our people. Representation is very, very important. If someone is saying there is an increment of salaries on this bill, it means you don't read anything about the bill. There is nothing that you have read about this bill. And then this bill have created so many commotions within all our constituencies. People created WhatsApp forums. But for me, it's only Allah that I fear. When discussions were going there, I entered, explained to them what is in the bill. And I said, if you want, I snap each page of the bill, I send it to you and we read it. And show me where is salary increment in the bill. People have to keep quiet because they were misinformed. So if we are here, let's please tell the people what is happening. If you don't know what is on the bill, seek clarity, understand what is on the bill, and transfer that information. You cannot sell your image or yourself in this gallery. It's only truth that will last. Only the truth that will last.
Me, I don't care to be captured on Facebook or
Yeah, complete your sentence.
Thank you very much for giving me that. Honorable Speaker, sometimes, you know, this parliament, we are here, but people are looking at us in other eyes because of some of us who don't read what we have on our tables. It is because of some of us, we don't read and we give them misinformation, giving them information that are not accurate. Honorable members, let's fear Allah and do what is the need. Honorable members, when we are here, let's represent our people to the best of our abilities. But let's not inform them. You try to make yourself white and make the others black. It cannot work. Thank you, Honorable. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Member for Tumanna, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. No, it's just for me, I have just little points to make because I will quickly join my guys to thank the mover of the motion. I think this is a very touching one after hearing from the right honorable members that give us a rundown of some historical events that passed through as far as this point is concerned. I think this is something that affects every one of us, even those who are yearning to come to the parliament. In fact, maybe this will benefit them more than us, because it's possible we may not come back again. But whosoever is coming back, when you are in the parliament, and when you happen to die before the end of your term, my friend, that this is going to benefit you. So therefore, we should, as a parliamentarian, we should make sure, let us not misinform the public. I think our friend here had a mistake, or he doesn't go through the document. Well. He didn't understand the document. But if at all he understands the document, I think it is very important. Every one of us should give our green light for this bill to pass. Honorable Speaker, I think those are the few things that I want to make. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, we refer to members by their constituencies. Yeah, not our friends or so. Yeah. No, please. The member for Sandamentering, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And Honorable Speaker, first, I'll have to say bravo, and I have to thank you very much, Honorable Nominated Member Kebalang Fofana. Thank you very much for taking this bold position to represent your committee to lay this important bill in this parliament. I think the entire Gambians needs to thank you. This bill is not purposely for the members who are present in this parliament today, but the bill is for the entire Gambians. Who knows whether Honorable Fatih Cham will be here tomorrow or she may not be here tomorrow. All depends in the hands of Allah. But then someone representing Honorable Fatih Cham or Sani Mentoring constituency will be entitled to this payment. Honorable Speaker, in addition to that, I wouldn't want to take the floor, but I hate it so much when a man should stand up and disrespect women. With all due respect, Honorable Member for Fonyi Bintankaranai. Women are not to be disrespected. Women deserve respect. Honorable Member for Fonyi Bintankaranai, you have two wives. You have a mother, you have a sister. I think this is not what we deserve as women. Women voted you in to be here today. I think you should stand up boldly and withdraw that statement that we have said against women. This is not what we deserve as
Honorable
women.
Member, I addressed that matter when it was mentioned by him. So I want members to leave it at that and concentrate on the bill. Order. Member, continue, Parliamentary.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. This is all I wanted to say, but hence you said you have regularized that situation. I think I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Member for Upper Salem, you have the floor.
Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I just want to ask for additional minute because we need to clarify this because we are talking to the entire population. Honorable Speaker, here we have a bill that is trying to remedy an ill in the parliament. And the ill, we have experienced that before where we had fallen colleagues in the parliament. But the parliament at the time, they were not in a position financially to support the family of those people. It was painful for those of us that were here, where you had your own fellow parliamentarian lying down here, and in your mind, you knew exactly that by the time he goes home, there's nothing you can do. This bill is trying to correct those errors that we actually have in our laws. Now, I would like to find out, Honorable Speaker, is there any member of parliament here now who wants to benefit from 4A, which is gratuity when you die? Is there anyone who wants to do that here? Who wants to die? The second one, Honorable Speaker, is talking about gratuity on resignation, member or recall. Let's forget about recall. Is there anyone here that's planning to resign from the parliament here? Is there anyone? Number 3, the gratuity on pension completes residual term which when somebody dies. Who wants to benefit? So is there anybody here that would benefit from this here? It doesn't happen. And anyone that's trying to imply anything else is a lie. This is a fact. Honorable Speaker, in 2022, here in this parliament here, we've changed the pension of the civil servants of 1950. We changed it here in this parliament here. And if you check the budget, look at the budget 5 years ago and now, where we were putting the pensions in the budget. You look at the appropriation from 300 million now. No. Yes, in 2022 here, I said we've changed the civil service pension of 1950. It's this parliament that actually changed it in 2022. That is the reason why before 2022, you realize that on the appropriation, you will see pensions of 300 million for the entire government of the Gambia with those with the pension. Now go look at the appropriation we just approved. Go look at what is there. We are approaching 800 million. Do you know why? Parliament changed it so that people that are having pensions would actually benefit more. And that's what actually happened. And I would like to also recall on section 18 of this act.
Observation. May I observe?
Yes.
Thank you. Also, to add on to what you are saying, the finance minister was here before us, and he said it is only during this legislative period that people are no more receiving $40 as pensions. The list they are receiving now is $1,000, and it is only during our time in this country and during this government that is happening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable. In fact, you've read my mind, and he's correct, 100% correct. Yes, today he's correct. But what I was trying to bring forward is this. It was here that we changed where we had on section 18 of the Act, which is the Public Service Pension Act of 2022, we have the debt gratuity. We have it, and we are the one that approve it. Now here we have one that intends to do the same thing to provide, for the members also, and you want to misconstrue it to mean something else. Honorable Speaker, even marriage gratuity, we have it, we approve it here. Where civil servants, when they go to marriage and their husbands are not here, we pay them gratuity, they can go and enjoy their marriage. We approve it here in this parliament. Honorable Speaker, on section 25 of the Pension Act, it's telling you the increment of pensions. Do we have that here? No, we don't have that, but we approve it here. We said in every 4 years, the government of the Gambia must take a look at total of the pension and increase it and it's there in section 25. Do we have that here? No, we don't have that. So in fact, for me, in totality, I think what we have given out is even better than what we have in this one here. And that's the reason why it's telling you on section 36 of the Pensions Act that we approve here also, that there is a review. In fact, what we want to do review is let's bring people that are really very au fait with pensions generally in the world, contract them for them to review the pension of the civil servants, so that the people that actually have worked for the government of the Gambia and have retired can enjoy their, at least at a minimum. Honorable Speaker, to conclude, anyone that makes an inference that this is going to raise any penny on any member's salary, I'm sorry to say, but you are not telling the truth. Thank you.
Member for Basse, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Speaker, for giving me the floor. First, I have to join my colleagues to thank Honorable Kebalang Fofana for bringing this bill, which is very timely and needful. Honorable Speaker, I think members have spoken very well for the importance of this bill. Because of there is not enough time, I will not dwell on it. But just to assure how important this bill, even people working in other institutions, at times they take life policy, life assurance policy. In the event when they die, their spouses, dependents will benefit. And the importance of it, when you pay for that policy, even if you pay today, you are giving the policy today, tomorrow you die, your spouse and dependents will benefit the policy. So you see how important a household member is. So here we are now telling the honorable member who went totally against this. At times it's difficult. Most of the bills, you always get up and contribute indirectly just to portray the image or to mislead the members in this gallery. This is not the platform for him to use his political propaganda. And if you want to use this platform, let him go to his people and do his propaganda. They are not at the plenary here. This is not the first time he's doing it. This is not the second time he's doing it. Even the FGM, he did the same thing. So we are not going to entertain it. So and Honorable Speaker, you spoke my mind when it comes to this the application they're going to use in the event the NAM or any member dies. They are going to use the pro rata, not the ones he didn't serve. You're going to use the pro rata system to calculate the number of days or months he served, is what they're going to pay. So I think.
Complete your sentence.
I thank every member for supporting this bill from Honorable Kebalang Fofana. Thank you so much. Please, member, I think what Honorable Simon said, you need to apologize to this floor and to the movements of the Gambia because they have voted you in. Thank you.
Nominated member Fatuke Jawara, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I don't think I even have anything to say. I just raised my tag lastly to join my colleague to support the bill, because if not, I may not be sincere to my former colleague who passed away during the 5th legislature. Honorable Speaker, during the 5th legislature, we came as 58, and when we are going, we go by 56. So it will be very ungrateful or insincere to stand here today not to support this bill. And we all know what those families went through. So I will join my colleague to support the bill so that my former colleague who passed away, Honorable Fakeba Koli, and the late Demba Sow, may Allah grant them the highest Jannatul Firdaus so that they can be smiling on us from heaven. For the honorable member who was misrepresented and using some foul word against women, I just want to assure him that the first teacher of every being is a woman, so try to respect women. Thank you very much.
And finally, the member for Bunu Kakunda.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think I'm going to be very brief. This bill is important. We thank the mover. in realizing the value of myself as a member of parliament and the value of my colleague National Assembly member for serving your country. The people of Bundung are in support of this bill 100%, because the thing is, at the end of the day, we are trying to address a situation. You cannot serve your country, you die, your family become destitute. So if you are representing people, let's try to be fair to each other. We are all colleagues, we are all civilized individuals. And at the end of the day, we all want to deliver. So if any of the member doesn't want this facility, you make it very clear. Because at the end of the day, I know, you know, we are serving our country. Even if we spend 1 month in this house, we already serve. So how can we allow others to benefit such benefit, and you yourself, after serving as a representative of the people, you deny yourself? Because it's 5 years term. Do you know whether you'll come or not? Or along the way you happen to die. You allow your family to suffer. Then if that happens, you should blame yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. I now call on nominated member Keba Lang Fofana to respond to issues raised and wind up the debate. Honorable member.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, naturally I wouldn't have much to say because members have definitely done my job. Starting from Right Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku and member for Opasalum, member for Kiang West, and every other member. But it's good to make clarity and clarifications, more so if in issues that concern the parliament. So what I would do is I would go straight to thank all the members who stand in support of this bill. And you've said it in very clear terms that this bill does not come to vary anything. If you look at the National Assembly Salaries and Pensions Act of 2007 as amended, or in 1998, you realize that Clause 4 and Clause 5 takes care of what? Gratuity. Clause 4 is taking care of gratuity for members who at the time of the dissolution of the parliament have not attained the age of what? 45. And Clause 5 as well takes care of gratuity. And the language there is clear. It says that you shall be paid 25% of the aggregate emolument that you've received during your time of what? Membership. So my question is, we pray to God that we all go up to 2027 and witness the dissolution of the assembly. And what I'm going to ask is, will there be any member here who wouldn't want to receive your graduate? If there is any member, raise your hand. If there is any member who by 2027, after the dissolution of this assembly, you will not receive your gratuity, raise your hand. No, raise your hand. Raise your tag. That is in law. And I want it on record that the honorable member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai, his tag is down. I want that on record, which means by 2027, the honorable member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai.
Point of correction, Honorable Speaker.
That is in response. I'm coming. Point of order. I'm sitting there. Thank you.
No, it's not point of order. It's correction. Continue.
I haven't made any error, so I don't need to be corrected. I will pass. That is just to lay the facts straight. To lay the facts that what we are not saying anything new. This has been in law since what? 1997. So now, coming to the bill itself, I must first express our sense of gratitude to the National Assembly. I must, before continuing, express our sense of gratitude to the National Assembly Standing Committee, which I am a member of. And this committee, for the record, is headed by the Speaker. when we came back, due to the sad occurrences that happened during the 5th legislature, the Speaker took it upon himself to prioritize what can happen to any one of us, that is to die. And he said that, look, 2 members died during the 5th legislature. And those 2 members served this country honorably. The families of those members were not asking for anything from the state. What they were asking for is a proportionate pay of the time they have served. One of those members served 4 years, 6 months. He was only left with 6 months. The members who were fortunate to serve 5 years, they were all paid their gratuity. All of them in full. This member served 4 years, 6 months, and he died. His family received nothing. Is that fair? Is that fair? That can happen to any one of us. That is the only certainty we have in life. So, honorable members, I want us to thank the honorable Speaker. The face you are seeing today, I am just a messenger bringing a bill that was done by over 8 honorable members of this House. Honorable Speaker, now to the issues. 2 members, that is the member for Fonyi Councillor and the member for Combo East, raised the issue of retroactivity. So before the consideration stage, we'll do further consultations and see whether it is possible. Okay, and then when we meet at the stage of the consideration, we will not be emotional about it. We'll do what is needed under the laws and based on precedents. And apart from those 2 members, all the other members who contributed were in support of the bill, except the member for Fonyi Bintang Karana. And Honorable Speaker, I must quote what the member for Fonyi Bintang Karana said, so that I can add context to my response. And he said, if opposition MPs accept what MPP norms bring, then we are all the same. Unquote. Honorable Speaker, I want to say that NPP is not a crooked party. That party is loved by Gambians. That's why the president released. Not being political, just to put it on record, because he said, and from his tone, what he was trying to say is NPP is treacherous. But Honorable Speaker, let's ask ourselves, what did he say? He said, and on record again, that the way he stood against the Judicial Officers Remuneration Bill is the same way he's going to stand against this. Now let's ask ourselves, what was in the Judicial Officers Remuneration Bill? The Judicial Officers Remuneration Bill, the main objective was to improve the terms and conditions of service of judicial officers by varying positively their take-home pay. Does this bill seek to do the same? No. So, Honorable Speaker, I must borrow a quote from David Ellis. He said, the best lie is the lie that is closest to the truth. And why do I say that the best lie is the lie closest to the truth? Let's say it the way it is.
I cannot hear you.
David Ellis said that the best lie is the lie that is closest to the truth. In context, this lie was seemingly close to the truth because both of them...
Point of order.
There is a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, I am rising on point of order 29.4. It shall be out of order to use offensive and insulting language about members in the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, the nominated member, Keba Lamfopona, cannot use offensive language here and insults language here in the chambers. This chamber is sincere and this chamber is secret, so
thank you.
Here's what we do other
Thank you, thank you. Order, honorable members, order. Honorable members, order, please. Honorable members, order. Member for Jarrell, don't do this. Take your seat. Now, the honorable member for Bintan Krana, you said insultive and offensive language. Can you tell me the words that are insultive and offensive, please? Remind me what he said about
Lying here in the chamber.
Take your seat. Take your seat. Sorry, please stand up.
Lie. He used the word lie.
Correct. Honorable members, please. The member for Fonye Bintan Kranai rose the point of order and claiming that nominated member Kebalang Fofana used offensive and insulting language, and in his own submission he said nominated member used line, the word line, and at no point in time I had the nominated member calling a member and referring to that member as a liar or lying, because he was using an analogy and telling us the closest to truth is lying. And I think it's general if he do not refer to any member unless if in our local languages we said when you make a statement or you, the member for upper Salem, lower Salem, don't do that. Allow me to make a ruling. I want 100% decorum. Don't more there. As in our local language, you said when you order in our local languages, honorable members, please order. Lower Salem, don't do that. Lower Salem, please. Who? Law order. Honorable members, so as I said, I have not heard the nominated member referring to any or referred. Lower Salem, don't do that, please. Allow me to conduct my proceeding. I have not heard the nominated member Kebalang Fofana refer to any member as a liar, and he used an analogy, and we all heard what he said. He said the closest word to I don't know what. So maybe unless if so, he have not said anything. Nominated member of Kebalang Fofana, please continue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, since it is about decorum, before proceeding, I want to give you the meaning of a lie. And the Oxford Dictionary will tell you that, if you permit me, I will read it. A lie is to speak falsely or utter untruth knowingly as with intent to deceive. And I will read that. The quote I made was, the best lie is the lie closest to the truth. And I said that to add context to what the honorable member said. He used the judicial officer's remuneration.
Honorable member, point of order. Honorable Speaker, point of order.
There is a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, I am, as I said, I am rising on point of order 29. 29.5, as I said again. Or 29.4 and 5. I am rising on now 2 points of order, 29.4 and 5. In the context of our chambers and in the context of the Gambia National Assembly, lie is an offensive language. 1. It shall be out of order to use offensive and insulting language. Lie is an insult in the context of the Gambia. So it must not be used in the chambers, Honorable Speaker. That is my, and you should ask the honorable nominated, you should ask the honorable member, nominated member to withdraw.
Thank you. Honorable members, order. Honorable members, order. You know, earlier on I dismissed his point of order. Now I had your analogy. You can use whatever and say whatever you want to use. Don't tie it to any member.
Honorable Speaker, then I have a simple question. If one doesn't speak the truth, how do you call it?
Yeah, lie.
And I also have the right to say anybody's lying, Honorable Speaker. I have the same right to say that anybody's lying as well.
Allow me, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you see, this is a sacred house.
Honorable Speaker, it's not parliamentary language.
Honorable members, Honorable members, I made my ruling. I made my ruling and nominated member Kebalang Fofana respect my ruling. Continue.
I'll proceed, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, what I want to say is, this bill differs from the judicial officer's enumeration bill, both in substance, in object, and in reasons. This bill does not have the intention of increasing a single butut on salaries. This bill does not have the intention of increasing a single butut on pensions. This bill does not have the intention of increasing a single butut on gratuities. The only thing this bill is saying is that if a member dies before the end of his term, if a member resigns or he is recalled and have served for at least 1 year, the next of kin of those members shall qualify to receive a proportionate pay of the time the member have what? Served. Then, Honorable Speaker, why this bill was circulated to all members? We have it for more than 1 month. Then why should the Honorable Member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai come and stand in front of the entire country and mislead them, making honorable members look like what? Economic junglers. We are not economic junglers. We are servants of the people, and we are serving them honorably, because this law we are bringing today, none of us in this chamber prays to benefit from it. I don't pray to die before the end of my 5 years. Nobody prays to die in this house. But we know that death is inevitable. And even your dean is telling you, the orphans, give them their property. This is what your dean is telling you. A father or a mother works for 4 years, 6 months, earns money that should go to his family. Your laws are telling you, he is left with 6 months. He cannot receive the 4 years, 6 months. Even your dean is telling you that is inheritance. Give it to the children. What I expect from the member from Fonyi Bintang Karanai is to tell the Gambian people and debate on the merits of this. But I know, remember, let us not be surprised. He said a proverb which I will not follow, but I would say this: Facebook likes, TikTok followers. If that makes you believe you are a politician, and you believe you can dwell on politics and make your political career based on what publications.
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
This is not the floor. And this is the main reason the member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Misinformed.
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, point of order. There is a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, I rise on point of order 29.1. Every member shall restrict his or her observation to the subject matter under discussion. The subject matter under discussion is about salaries and pension bills for the National Assembly. And the honorable member is deviating to Facebook, like, and TikTok.
Thank you very much. Please take your seat. Let me make a ruling on the point of order. Please take your seat. Please take your seat. Is the debate, honorable members, is general merits and principle. And the mover of the motion is to respond on the issues raised. And the member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai raised issues of increment of salary, allowances, and benefits. And that's what the nominated member, Kebalang Fofana, is responding to. Please, nominated member, confine your responses to those that he claims, and that's what he is doing. Please continue.
Honorable Speaker, I'm almost concluding on the issue for the member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai, and I will repeat.
Observation.
If politicians. Okay.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I just want to, I know we've been talking about this word, lie or untrue, whatever. I just want to remind the members of the National Assembly on the National Assembly Powers and Privileges Act, which is a law of this country. If you look at on the 10, which is the offenses of the National Assembly that somebody can cause in this country here, I will refer you to 10 K and F. In K is telling you that if somebody prints or publishes any libel, publishes either by word spoken or writing, false, scandalous, defamatory. These words are even worse than lie. Scandalous, defamatory. Then if you go to F, it's telling you another one here, saying does an act which obstructs or impedes National Assembly or a committee or the performance of this function which obstructs the National Assembly. I mean, this what we have is even worse than that. So go ahead. So you are,
Yes, Honorable Speaker. Sorry. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Opasalum, I stand by the Speaker's ruling on that.
Honorable Speaker, Mr. President.
Honorable Opasalum, I stand by the Speaker's ruling on that, and I respect it. Even though I might believe otherwise, but I believe the Speaker have done his ruling based on good intent. But in conclusion, I want to thank all the members, especially the members of the Assembly Standing Committee, whom I want to read, so that we know that this bill is not an NPP bill, as initially claimed. The chairperson of the Assembly Standing Committee is the Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Fabakary Tombong Jatta. We have Honorable KK Barrow, Honorable Tumanjai, Honorable Yaya Gassama, Honorable Alfuseni Sise, Honorable Ami Koli, and Honorable Bakari Kora, and my little humble self, Kebalang Fufana. So to the member for Fonyi Bindankaranai, this is not an NPP bill. And even if it were to come from an NPP member, the moment it arrives on this floor, it becomes the bill of National Assembly. So honorable members, thank you for the support. And then, Honorable Speaker, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, nominated member Kebalang Fofana, for that. All the honorable members, I want to thank nominated member Kebalang Fofana and the Assembly Standing Committee for a great job, and commend all of you who contributed positively to this bill. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the bill entitled National Assembly Salaries and Pension Amendment Bill 2025 be read a second time. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Chair, division. Chair, division.
Clerk, we may proceed.
Chair, division. Chair, division.
Thank you. National Assembly Salaries and Pensions Amendment Bill 2025.
Chair, division. Speaker, division.
Honorable members, in accordance with Order 68, Sub 1 of the Standing Orders, the bill is hereby referred to the Assembly Business Committee for committal to either a committee or committee of the whole Assembly. Thank you. On that note, I now put the question. Be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned until Monday, 1st December 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This Assembly now stand adjourned until Monday, 1st December 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt.